Forgiving those who have wronged you. A life-changing Christmas bonus. And do you prefer white or colored lights on the tree?
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Good morning. It is Hump Day, people. Wednesday, December 11th, 2019, day 90 of Gotta Get on Ellen. My voice in a little bit better shape this morning than it was yesterday morning. I was getting very depressed with all the dreariness. Woke up this morning to, once again, pouring rain. Third day in a row of pouring rain. It's just really getting me down. So I actually stepped outside just a little while ago, and it stopped raining. Everything is covered in snow. I don't know how we got this much snow in the very short time that I had not been looking outside. Looked outside, everything's covered. We were at 60 degrees yesterday, and now it's snowing. Yeah, it's cold. Really, really cold. So I'm hoping that the snow will finish off. You know, I love snow when it's first fallen and there's no tracks in it, and I don't have to go anywhere. That is the perfect scenario, and that is my scenario for today. I was going to go to the gym, but I think I'm going to do my at-home workout today. I will head to the gym tomorrow. There you go. I'm a little off schedule this week because I had my house guest, Libby, and she returned home yesterday. So now I have no excuses. Back to work time. Time to get back to work. Got a long list of things to do. I'm going to start checking them off. So I wanted to tell you about this story. If you haven't seen it, look it up online. Gives you all the feels. The only bad part is part of the feels is, why don't I work there? There is a Maryland real estate company. I believe they have close to 200 employees. The owner of the company, has just given his employees $10 million worth of Christmas bonuses. Now, that's split between them. The average bonus is $50,000. They say that they gave the amount of money depending on how long you've been there, what your position is, the company is. Some people received bonuses in the amount of $250,000. Can you believe that? I mean, these people are saying that they're going to pay off their mortgages and their kids' college educations with this Christmas bonus. I mean, they're not like just buying presents. They're like paying off lifelong debt. Crazy, right? I never had a boss like that. Maybe I'll be that boss someday. Maybe. I don't plan on having any employees, so I guess that'll be me getting the bonus, right? I like it. So, if you have not checked this video out, it's all over the news this morning, but it's just kind of a really feel-good story. And it's amazing to me that this man that owns this company took $10 million to share with his employees. And as he points out in the story, he said, I steer the boat, but he says they work the boat. So his philosophy is he would be nowhere without them. Therefore, they get to share in all of the glory. So good for him. Time of year, spirit of giving. I love it. So if you are looking at a snowy day like I am, I hope that you are nice and warm and comfy, cozy, and have nowhere to go. Although it is Wednesday, I think most people probably have to go to work. I don't think it's laying on the roads. I'm not hearing of any potential problems road-wise, but I wanted to jump right into my topic today. Again, with the theme of forgiveness this week, my blogs are going on quite a bit longer than usual because I feel I need the time to kind of really go over some scenarios and such with you. So I hope you're finding it beneficial, and I will be moving on to the blog post momentarily. But meanwhile, I did have today's topic as, do you prefer colored or white lights on your tree? Now, I've always preferred the white lights, always, always, always. And I was at a friend's house just a few years back, and they had all red lights, which red is my favorite color. I had never seen just red lights before, and I was like, oh my gosh, where did you get the lights? Now I find out my sister's been having red lights on her tree for years as well. I didn't even see them in the store until a few years ago, but I have, collected a bunch of red lights now. And last year, I believe was the first year we had the red lights for the tree. And what Joe did is he twisted the red and white lights together and then wrapped them around the tree. So it had like just a red and white glow to it. This year we did it a little bit differently. We did it more in sections, but it's still red and white. And we had gotten these, what they're called candy cane lights, which they're white lights with a red tip, but they didn't turn out the way I had hoped. They don't really look all that red at all when you're standing away from the tree. So next year we'll probably do something a little bit differently. But we've been doing the red and the white for the last couple of years. But I have always preferred the white because I just think it looks so elegant. And the colored lights, I do like the colored lights. I think, in my opinion, it's more like kids like the colored lights. And then when you get older, you kind of like the white lights a little bit better. They're a little more elegant and classy and classic. But then the white light or the colored lights remind you of childhood too. So, you can have it both ways now. As somebody pointed out in their response, that these trees blink back and forth now. Megan says, I mostly like white. The kids like colors. Our tree has both and it can also blink back and forth. So yes, I've seen those trees. What else? Sandra says, always white on the tree. Michelle says red every year. See, like I didn't even know. Carol Ann says white lights, but in the past I did have colored lights. Joe says, I used to like all the colors, but I'm coming around to just red and white. That's because I'm forcing him to come around to the red and white. Poor Joe. We did used to kind of battle a little bit. I think the first year or two we had colored lights on the tree, and then I'm like, nope, doing white lights. The tree is my thing. You get to put the lights on, but the rest of it's all me. Ann says, I like lights on my tree, but the hupster likes colors. So I get my own tree, and he gets his gaudiness. I think it's because my parents always had white lights, just like how it goes with my decor. Diane says, not only colored, but twinkle. I like to keep it exciting. Marcy says, we have colored LED lights now, but I like either. Denise says, usually white, but I mix it up. A couple for both. We have a couple for colored. Let me see. Who did I miss? John says it depends. He says that every year he decorates the outside and inside different. He said the advantage I have is my lights have 6 different settings. And Jim says, I like white on the tree, but I'm not adverse to colored either. So when it comes down to it, for our little informal poll here, it looks like we are 65% at white lights, 35% colored, but there's number of both as well. So there you go. This is why they have white and colored, because everybody has their own preference, and you're supposed to do what makes you happy. You're supposed to put up what you like and prefer to look at the most. That's what it's all about. There you go. Into the blog post, forgiving. That's what we're talking about this week. Today, I'm going to focus on forgiving those who have wronged you. Maybe the hardest to forgive. I put up a little post that says the first to forgive is the happiest. As I've been saying all week, I need to work with you guys on this one. I am not a good forgiver. And there are times in our lives when something so horrible happens, and yeah, it totally sucks. Things that seem unfair and make you wonder if there really is any justice in this world. The truth of the matter is sometimes there is justice in the world, and sometimes there isn't. We all like to think that people who are jerks or who have treated us badly will get paid back for their dirty deeds. The fact is, sometimes they just get away with it. And we must figure out a way to be okay with that. The first thing that will help you get past it is to realize that injustices and people being unfair to you happens. Not just to you, to everyone. One of the biggest lessons I've learned along my path is to realize I don't have an overabundance of horrible things happen to me. I don't have any more than the next person. It truly is the way you handle these injustices. If you are still stuck in thinking that you have the worst luck, if you have worse luck than most people, do a reality check. Do you have a roof over your head? Do you have heat or air conditioning? Do you have food to eat every day? I know, sounds like you're, well, yeah, of course, everybody has those. No, not true. Don't poo-poo this fact. It is a big deal. Look at the homeless. Look at those with addiction problems. Look at those who have truly lost everything in a moment due to some sort of accident or act of God. Realize that things could probably be worse and appreciate the fact that they aren't. Now, I've had some pretty sucky things happen in just the past year. I found out some things about my relationship with my mother that seems pretty unfair to me. I also lost my job, which I continue to believe, in my opinion, was for nothing that I did. Why did these things happen? I'm not sure I will ever know. And even if I do, will it make a difference in how I proceed with the rest of my life? Don't get me wrong. I think you should analyze situations and see where you could have gone wrong. Really examine the facts to see if you did, in fact, contribute to the outcome of the situation. If you find that you did, then lesson learned. Now you know better. If you still believe you didn't do anything to deserve the circumstances you find yourself in, you still have to find a way to move forward anyway. Getting stuck in the injustice and wallowing in it will only continue to hurt you. You've already been hurt. You've already been treated unfairly. Don't let it affect your entire life. It's time to look forward instead of back. I know all of this is easier said than done, but I've been doing some reading lately that has pointed out that that statement is just an excuse to stay stuck. So, do me a solid and remove the phrase easier said than done from your vocabulary. There are a lot of things that are easier said than done, but guess what? You have to do it anyway for you. I lost my job, and as much as it sucks, the more I focus on the fact that I feel it was completely unfair, the more I stay exactly where I am, jobless and feeling sorry for myself. You have to forgive the person that put you in this situation and move on to bigger and better things. You're not letting anyone off the hook. You are bringing peace to your life. I've come to the conclusion, the reason I lost my job, from a universal point of view, from the big setup of my life point of view, is it was a setup to what I'm doing now. I had been out of the radio business for a few years when I got my last job. I had pretty much figured with our relocation that it wasn't possible for me to find a job in radio close to home. So obviously, the first thing this job did was prove that I was wrong. I could get a job close to home. I now think that it was a lesson to show me anything is possible, but more importantly, I think it was grooming me to get back into the swing of being on the air and entertaining people, to talking to people every day, to get comfortable being behind a microphone again, to get me ready for the work I'm doing now. And like it or not, I more than likely would not be doing this work right now if I still had my job. Injustice? Yes. But maybe for a greater cause? The same goes with your personal life. Someone close to me recently went through a divorce. He was pretty upset about it. He did everything he could to save his marriage, including counseling, forgiving infidelity, committing to change in order to make his wife happier. It still fell apart. after he was pushed to a point he could no longer tolerate, he had to draw a line in the sand.